Yesterday, my son and we were talking, and next thing I know, I looked up. We had been talking for almost 3 hours. But I enjoy those conversations because a lot of times he's coming to me for a good word, just good advice. And a lot of times I walk away from those moments needing to hear what I just said. And yesterday he had asked me, did I ever think that my grandfather ever had a moment that he was just like, why God, pretty much? Like, I'm doing everything right and look at everything that's happening. And for a moment, I thought about it and I was just like, I'm sure he did because he's human. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he had all those moments. But the difference is it was just a moment. You see, a lot of times we think as humans, we somehow fail when we have a moment. But the key is not to stick in that moment. And as we begin to talk and in that moment, like I really start feeling better because I started thinking about, I've been going through some stuff. And a lot of times I come on here and I say that I'm going through some stuff and I never, tell exactly what I'm going through. And my ego side, my pride side always want to get on here and really say like what's going on that has me in certain mind frames. And as I was talking to my son yesterday, everything that I was saying, I started really understanding that, you know what, sometimes God will take you through there to, I said this before, to get you to there. He'll take you through some stuff to get you to where you need to be. And a lot of times that journey is so heavy sometimes, and we feel like, we're praying and we think God doesn't hear us because we're praying that God just take this situation away. But what we don't understand is sometimes God doesn't take the situation away until God gets out of you what he needs you to see. You see, last weekend, I went through some stuff mentally. And in that moment, I really wanted to just crash out. But as I sat back and I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I keep finding myself in certain situations. And because I keep finding myself in certain situations, that just means that I'm not learning what God needs me to see. So in that moment, I sat back and I actually felt good about myself because I'm like, you know what, God? I literally had the perfect example with my grandfather. I seen him go through so much stuff and I seen him just still keep pressing on. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people will tell me the same, like, man, Papa, I don't know how he stays so strong. And those same people sometimes are the people that do stuff to me. And when I sit back and I'm like, okay, I'm going through this, then I just start understanding that, sometimes God ain't gonna remove the issue until he gets out of you what he needs to get out of you. See, if God removes the issue, then you don't develop how he needs you to develop. And so sometimes when you find yourself in mess, you stay in the mess longer when you refuse or your ego or your pride gets in the way and you miss the lesson. I watched my grandfather go through so much and stay strong. I seen him go through some stuff that, I'm saying, me, I probably, oh, man, I wouldn't be here today. But I seen him go through some stuff. But here's the thing. My grandfather being blessed me because I saw firsthand him go through some mess. I seen people do him the worst and he still smiled and still did for them. But guess what? This week I'll be 46 years old. I saw him do that. So when I go through some stuff, I know that it's possible to succeed. And my son that's got to face life and go through all of this type of stuff, he knows that he can come to me because of how he's seen me carry myself. See, my son, I could be going through some stuff and my son would come to me. He'd be like, Dad, I got this situation and this, that, and the other. He know he's going to get a word from me. But not only is he going to get a word from me, my words match the actions. And sometimes, if he gets in a situation and he wants to crash out, my words won't mean nothing if I'm telling him not to do X, Y, and Z, but he sees me doing it. I always tell him, and I told him this yesterday, I said, one thing that my grandfather always taught me and showed me was you do right. It doesn't matter what they do. You do right. But me telling him that, it don't mean nothing if he see me doing opposite of that. So the moral of this video is sometimes you are the designated person that got to go through it to get through it for people that you love. Think about that. Sometimes you are the one in your family that has to have the story, that has to have the trials, that you are that person because when God shows up and shows out in you, the other people get to see it. One thing about me, it's a gift and a curse that I'm always going to speak my mind. I'm always going to speak my mind, always. But what I'm learning as I more, start maturing is I just watch who I speak my mind to because certain people will never be able to hear you because of what they got going on inside. Certain people, certain people have to make you their enemy in order to make themselves feel good. I'm a witness. I've had people do stuff to me, then will turn around and have conversations with other people and act like I'm the best thing since sliced bread. but will treat me the worst. And what I'm starting to understand is it's, first of all, it has everything to do with what they got going on inside of you. And the crazy thing is when people got something going on inside of themselves, they'll turn around and try to, you know what I'm saying, put the onus on you. But what I started understanding was I had created such an atmosphere that it was easy to do such things because of how I was living my life. You don't know how many times I have apologized to people when I didn't do nothing wrong. You don't know how many times I have turned the other cheek. And see, that's the gift and the curse because people will continue to play with you because you choose to do right. Here's the thing. You feel like you losing. You feel like people are just, you know what I'm saying, just walking through you. But what you got to understand is the blessing that God has for you, what we think is years of going through trials, God has no sense of time. So when that breakthrough comes, it's going to be that much sweeter because you have went through some stuff. And what's a lot of people do in this life is they will fabricate situations in their head and it becomes their reality because they need to tell the next person, I done been through some, you ain't been through nothing. And you know you ain't been through nothing when you can't handle the small things. You can't handle the small things. There's somebody going to work right now that complained yesterday about going to work, but prayed for that job, prayed for that position, prayed for that rank, anything. They prayed for this and now they're complaining about going, right? But then you're asking God for an increase. Why do you want an increase when you can't control what you got now? You pray for that position, but with that position comes more responsibilities, but somehow you can't handle those responsibilities, but you're praying for more. That's my message in this video today. You are not losing. Listen, you find yourself in and I'm speaking to myself. I have woken up many mornings wanting to cry about what happened yesterday, but something inside of me won't let me. I have had people do stuff. I have had people do stuff to me on purpose because of how I reacted in the past. See, I used to have a thing with, you know what I'm saying, people, you know, ignoring me or, you know what I'm saying, acting like I wasn't there, talking around me, doing all of this. That stuff used to bother me, but now it doesn't. So I know that I'm almost to my breakthrough. See, I don't trip no more. I don't trip no more. And what you have to understand is never get in a position that you start saying, I'm doing it for my haters gonna see and this, that, and other, because you'll never win. They're always gonna hate you. And what starts to develop inside of you is an arrogance. There's an arrogance tied to how you feel that people are treating you. So now you like, I'm gonna treat them a certain type of way. And that's why your blessing is delayed. So if this message reached anybody out there and I said some stuff that you needed to hear, I need you to share it. I need you to share it because somebody out there is questioning God of why me when God is saying, because I chose you. You are the person that the next people are going to need to see. See, I got a story and I'm writing something right now that is going to be miraculous. But I had to go through some stuff in order to write the story. What has God put you through in your life for you to bless someone else? Y'all have a blessed day.